Welcome to the Dalitalks show, Gustavo. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate that you're taking the time to share your story. So, can we just dive right in? Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you want to share with us today.
My name is Gustavo, and I came from Brazil. I was born in South, close to Argentina and Uruguay. And I took chemical engineering in 2010, and at the same time, I got my chemistry diploma. And I came to Canada in 2017 to study biotechnology and get my immigration. And actually, I will more talk about my story because it's more related to violence and bullying and these kind of things. But of course, I cannot share everything because it will take around 6 hours. So it's a little bit difficult.
Right.
But I wrote a book with all details, everything, and it has around 420 pages. So if I cover everything, it's impossible. It's
Right.
totally impossible. But I can give just a brief and explain other points I didn't write there because
Right.
it will be very clear.
Okay, yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing this. And I just want to let our listeners know that this might be triggering. I know that you're not going to share very graphic details or anything, but you're going to share some details that might give us an idea of the severity or intensity of your experience. And we're sharing this for learning purposes because we want people to understand that forms of bullying are so different. And sometimes, yeah, right. Sometimes they're not very obvious. So feel free to share as much or as little as you want, and yeah, dive right in.
Sure. Actually, bullying can come from every form, right? It can be physically, can be verbally, everything. Sometimes, and actually, in my country, most time they consider this as a joke, so they don't take it serious, and this is a really big problem. And the consequences, I won't say is really bad because if it's in beginning, okay, don't have any problem. But in my case, if you suffer for like 20 years, it's not
Wow.
something good, right?
Mhm.
You definitely will have problems not only with communication skills because you don't want to talk to anyone, but you also will have problem with depression and maybe you don't want to live anymore and these kind of things. But actually, one thing I cannot say everything, but I will say just one thing happened when I was around 8, 9 years old, when I was at a school in grade third, because I think this will illustrate a little bit not only bully but violence too. And I won't say this is the worst thing that happened to me because it isn't, but because much worse things happen. But what happened was I was sitting in the classroom and my classmate like took that plastic guns like airsoft, but with lead bullets.
With
In this
real?
case, lead bullets.
Oh, lead bullets.
Yeah. And basically what he did, he shot me on the face here around.
Ouch.
And okay, most of companies, non-profit organizations say tell to do some adults. And this was exactly what I did. But they just told me, okay, that's just a joke, don't worry. So this is something, what can we do, right?
Right.
I cannot do anything. And they keep saying me this for like more 7, 8 years. So when everyone say, okay, you can count on adult, no, in my case, I was completely alone because if they are not willing to help, what can we do? Nothing. Basically, we have to find a way to fight against these things. I had to find a way to fight by myself. And I know most people will tell me, okay, why you don't tell your family what happened? Because I couldn't, because some bad things came from them too.
Oh,
So
yes.
this is not okay. I will just go there and tell them it's impossible. At the same time, few things that happen, they will say, oh, you can go to police and tell them. But it is also related with my friend from Canada, from Brazil. She is a refugee now, and I can say she suffered a lot of better things too. But one thing was she was raped because she is gay. And what happened? Okay, they will say, okay, go to police, but they did it, so she cannot go there because they will kill her if because she will be complaining about the organization and their organization. And this is the part they say, okay, go to talk to someone, but it's not possible sometimes. And what we can do, I know, but they don't know. So I think it's a good idea to share
I
my points.
agree. So then this happened in Brazil. And so then pretty much people don't have any recourse. If you go to the police, they pretty much don't do anything.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a number. If people die, okay, it's just one number more and they don't care.
That is really terrible. And I can understand how you can feel hopeless and how that can lead to thoughts of suicide, which is something that you experienced, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
And this is I think this is crazy because who helped me to overcome this until I came to Canada were 5 people. They don't even know me. They don't have any relation to me, but 3 of them are Brazilians too. This is the people will say, "Oh, you don't like Brazilians?" No, I don't like what they do. It's different, but
Yeah.
they assume, "Oh no, they don't like what we do. You don't like Brazilians," but that's wrong. That's not what I say. And one people, actually speaking of those people, one of them is a YouTuber, famous YouTuber. He has around 50 million followers, so really famous. And I knew him in 2010 when I was watching a video. So yeah, I really like him. His name is Felipe Neto. But incredibly, most people don't like him exactly because of this, because sometimes he exposes things from that country and they don't like to be
Oh,
exposed, right?
right.
So yeah, but he's one incredible person, and incredibly, his brother is also one. His brother is Lucas Neto, but they don't have the same importance. One did one thing, and his brother did another thing completely different. But and the third one is Bruno Correa. He is an employee of Felipe Neto, but it's more like a brother because they are always together. So yeah. And I mentioned 5 people, but I said only 3. So the last other 2 are 2 actors from United States. One is Millie Bobby Brown, and the second one is Noah Schnapp. And I actually got to know them in, I think, 2000, no, not 15, 17, when I came to Canada to study English, but I had to come back. So they helped me with a few things. And actually, I met them in person. But of course, I would like to tell them everything, why I like them, everything. But okay, I cannot just go there and talk in front of everyone. I never talk about this, so it's crazy. If I keep talking, I will talk for 6 hours, and I wouldn't have time. So I didn't have time to tell them anything, and neither Felipe Neto. But one day they will know.
Wow, this is really interesting because and it's kind of sad because you would expect other family members, maybe family members who were not bullying you, to step in and help you, and it turned out to be these 5 complete strangers who just saw into you and stepped in. So let me backtrack just a little bit to give people, our listeners, an idea of what type of bullying. Was most of your bullying verbal, emotional, physical? What can you tell us about that?
Oh, it was some kind of physical when I was school, lower grades, but when I went to university, it was more verbal, and I can say a little bit of torture, some kinds of like this, especially from my family. From my family, is more mental.
Mhm. And how did that impact you? And can you remember at what point you really just had enough and you noticed that it had changed something in you?
Oh, actually, it changed when I was at school, but I became more alone. I didn't want to talk to anyone. And everyone said, okay, you don't have friends who have some mental problems because you don't talk to anyone. But the point is not I don't want to talk to this. They don't add anything on my values. The values are completely different. Why should I talk to them? It's completely different. But of course, after I had problems with low self-esteem, low self-confidence, of course, depression, and I didn't want to live anymore. Everything this was related. And actually, I only could overcome my self-esteem and these kind of things when I came to Canada in 2020.
Okay, wow. So you haven't been there that long. And
Yeah.
it's great though, because I mean you're here because you have the courage to tell your story, and I would think that that's because you've also been able to move forward. And I'm sure that you're not completely healed because it takes time, especially when it's over a period of 20 years. That's really,
Yeah.
yeah. And I'm pretty sure you're gonna have to keep working at that over time. So when you were being bullied at school, like in primary school or high school, did anybody step in or did you find out why you kept being the target?
No, actually, no one is stepping in. Everyone just saw and told me, "Oh, this is a joke. Don't worry." But actually, it's not.
Mhm.
And actually, I think they didn't anything. Actually, never, ever.
And was it because they felt like you were different? Was there something else that I guess?
No, actually, everything starts with small things because I'm from South and we have different words. So
Yes,
everything
actually,
starts, but after I saw they didn't like me was more because of my intelligence than because anything else. Because if you see my grades at university, I was always one of the best students. But why I was one of the best students? Because I studied like 14 hours. So of course you will be the best.
yes, right. It's interesting you say that because I have a friend who is also from the south of Brazil, Stella. She's brilliant, amazing. And she too mentioned that there is almost like just intense discrimination because of the dialect from the south and the north, or like if you're from the city or from the rural areas of the country. And I mean, that still doesn't justify why anybody should be bullied. But I mentioned that just so that people understand that sometimes bullies pick anything, any reason whatsoever that makes you different to make you a target. So how were these 5 people who you met, how have they been able to help you move forward and start healing?
Oh, just make me laugh and give me some reason to not be like them, but to be better than all of them.
So
Because
they,
now, if you see my what I want to do in the future is basically what they do. One thing, of course, is publish my book, but the reason I want to publish is not to hurt Brazilians or anything like that, but to make people aware
awareness.
because my case is unique. I don't think I never seen a case like my case before. This is I'm the first person. I think I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but this is one thing I want to do. I also want to become an actor in the future. I don't want to keep working by technology or engineering. This is great, especially in Canada. It's 12 hours work. No. With minimum wage. No. This is too much for me. I prefer to have more freedom. So, and I can impact positively people as an actor. So definitely, this is one thing I want to do, and of course, publish my book. But now it's not possible. And actually, the reason why it's not possible is more for safety reasons.
Okay.
Because actually, I mentioned this in the book too. There's one person there whose name is Gabriel Monteiro. He's a police man, and he always try to do the right thing, like to expose crimes. He's a police, right? So yeah, but he fight against politicians and this kind of things. And because of this exposure, what they did, they tried to kill him 10 times.
Wow.
So if I have to come back there, how can I keep him safe if I publish the book? First, I prefer to be safe in Canada, make sure, okay, I have PR, so after I can publish, and I won't have any problem because I go there if I want. It will be my choice.
Right. Wow. That's really intense when it comes to the point to where the officer who tried to help his life is in danger.
Yeah.
And I want people to understand that about bullying, because so many people say, oh, these kids, they're just weak, they're soft, or that's just what kids do. Oh, they'll grow out of it. But what they're describing is something different. It's not bullying. Bullying is completely intense, consistent. It puts people in danger, to include sometimes the bully. And it has long lasting mental health effects and even physical effects, because sometimes you're so exhausted mentally, emotionally, that your body starts manifesting symptoms of pain. And it takes a lot to come out of that. And I'm glad that you have been able to find 5 people that are close to you. So with your book, you said you can't publish it right now. Do you have a date when you want it to come out?
No, as soon as I get my PR, and I think I will get soon because I have a friend who works in the government, handling PRs and these kind of things. And she told me, actually, my case is really good because I already did biometrics in 2020 and medical. So I don't have to wait a long time. And she thinks in 2 months I will get.
So in your PR what is that exactly?
Oh, biometrics and medical.
Is your degree, you mean?
No, the fingerprints.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. My mind went to school.
No.
Okay. Oh, I see. And so, okay. And I also see that you have created an Instagram page to bring awareness. So what type of information do you share on there?
I try to share my information, but for now I didn't show my face there. But I share only when I have time, because now sometimes I'm really busy and I don't have much time. But I try to do my best, and my plan is to use that Instagram to promote my book, and also make some partnership with other profitable companies to help me, because I know my story is unique, so it can help both sides and everyone, and it will be great. Not only for me, because I don't care about fame and this kind of thing, but if I can help someone with my story, it will be great.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I invited you to come and share your story, because people need to hear different stories. And hopefully a lot of people will hear your story and be able to support you, especially when that book comes out. And actually, and if you're listening or watching, I invite you to check out Gustavo's Nonviolence 0310 on Instagram. And you have a lot of great messages on here, a lot of great graphics that talk about it. And also you try to put out some positivity out there, which is important. Yeah. So is there a reason why it says nonviolence 0310?
No, non-violence is because it's violence in general, racism, everything. I don't publish only exclusively of bullying, because I have a friend who suffered racism, so who I saw racism too. So everything is connected, And 3010, I didn't find another number.
Okay.
All numbers were okay, so well, I think
Okay.
I typed just, yeah.
I just thought to ask in case there was some significance. So is there anything you would like our listeners or viewers to do? Any calls to action?
Look more what happened at school, not only at school, but workplace and everywhere, because sometimes it's not joke, and respect more because I think one of the main problems there is a lack of respect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Is there anything that you wish that somebody would have done or said when you were going through it?
Oh, what I wanted was someone to stop everything, because most of when I was at school, they told me, okay, this is just a joke, it won't solve anything. But if they suspended the person or called their parents, okay, it will be useful maybe or not, but at least they tried to do something, but they didn't.
Mhm.
And exactly my friends, people are supposed to be my friends, did basically the same thing. So this is not friendship actually. They don't look for friendship more. Exactly, they are looking for someone they can use, and okay, after that, when they don't need the person anymore, they don't just discard.
Yeah. Mhm. All right. Well, Gustavo, thank you so much for sharing your story. Please let me know when you have a launch date so that we can support you and have you back on the show to talk about the book and remind people why it is important to take bullying serious and to be an ally and to be somebody who stands up for people instead of the bystander.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well,
Sure,
thank
I
you
will
so
do that. No, no problem.
much. Thank you, Gustavo.
No problem. Thank you
Of
for the
course.
opportunity.
I love it when people turn a bad experience and their pain into something that can heal others, because they recognize that they're not the only ones who have gone through something like that, like what Gustavo went through with bullying. And he recognized that there are still many, many people who are going through it. So that's why I bring people like him onto the show. And for Bullying Awareness Month, this is just a perfect story to share with you so that you can see that bullying has many faces. It happens very, very differently with different intensities. And we really need to prioritize bullying awareness and prevention a lot more. So please check out his page on Instagram, follow him, and I'll let you know when he publishes that book. Okay, so if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe wherever it is that you're listening to this conversation. Please follow or subscribe. And don't forget that I publish one conversation every week. And I have a newsletter that you can subscribe to. You can check that out at Dalitalks.com. All right, until next time, thank you so much for your support.